I think Neil's greatest contribution to chemistry is the way he's interwoven his research, his education, and his service. It would be hard for me to comment too much on his research because he's an expert in theoretical calculations on the way molecules interact with each other. But he was a real progressive thinker about using computers in chemistry. One of his most important recent contributions has been the establishment of the Neil Kestner Award in Physical Chemistry, which goes to a graduate student, a senior graduate student who excels in both research and teaching, and I think that's a fine tribute to Neil.
What distinguishes Neil in all the projects that he's done, and there have been many, I can identify a couple, is that he tends to look for the underlying subtleties that make it easy to explain and understand. So he really gets at the root of problems that tend to have a lasting impact. And if you look at some of the papers he's worked on, things that go back to the 60s, they're still referenced repeatedly year after year, much more than most scientific papers.
If Neil says he's going to do something, he does it. And with a compassion for excellence. And as evident of his tenure at LSU as chemistry professor chair and faculty senate chair and husband.
My personal favorite of his greatest hits would be his work on excess solvated electrons, I guess is the phrase. And it's had influence on hundreds of scientists. I have a good friend at Johns Hopkins who works in this field experimentally, and when he thinks of people who've made a mark in science, the first person that comes to his mind is Neil Kestner for those reasons.
That paper we wrote on electron transfer reactions, which took the ideas of Rudy Marcus, who won the Nobel Prize, and we adapted it to a purely quantum mechanical model. His was classical or semi-classical. But other accomplishments that I'm proudest of, I think, are my work with the ASH Committee, the Academic Standards and Honors Committee, and we put through several changes in admission standards of the university and have raised them to high levels that we're now seeing that was a good thing.